Meanwhile, let's chat with Sarvendra Srivastava as well as Sameet Chavan. And Sarvendra, we've had that spectacular sell-off this entire week, but you're starting off with a long trade on the Nifty futures?
Yes, absolutely. I think the biggest now question to be asked is probably are we bottoming out, and has the market in the short to medium term wanting to bottom out? And I think the window is very, very clear. This is a very, very critical and important window. 7,500, 7,450. These supports, I think, are very, very critical for the markets to hold. So I'm giving it a 50-point leeway to whipsaw 75. So my sense is that if at all there is a long trade, and if the time is there, I think today is the time probably to try and test those waters, put some long trades on the index, and see if we are reversing or not. So by Monday, my sense is that if we start reversing and start closing that gap area that we printed last two sessions, then possibly then we have a very, very bright chance of a reversal back towards 8,000. So with that sense in mind, probably wanting to test waters, want to put a small intraday long trade for a 70 odd points. So want to buy Nifty futures at around 7606 and look for a target of around 7669, and traders can keep a stop loss there at 7674.40.
And besides the Nifty futures, what else is on the radar?
See, again, the same thought goes for the Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty also very, very close to critical psychological support around 16 odd thousand, and picking the highest weighted stock there, ICICI Bank, would like to buy it. Look for a target around 252, 253 on that. And these are immediate targets. These targets can probably extend. But 252, 253 is good enough, and 241.80 is what I would recommend as a stop loss. And coming to my last trade, we believe at 5 cents, we believe that the pharma and the IT space is now going to underperform. If the Nifty, Bank Nifty is going to go up, and we have done a sizable medium-term bottom, these are the two spaces that will get punished. The outperformance will end up to now being underperformance from here on. So a sell on Aurobindo Pharma for a target of around 831 for the day, and a stop loss at 861.60.
Okay, there you have it. Sarvendra spelling out his top bets. Nifty futures, ICICI Bank, a short selling candidate. That's Aurobindo Pharma. Sameet Chavan, welcome to the show. What are your top picks?
Good morning, Avan. We have a buy call on Power Grid for a target of 149, and stop loss can be placed at 135.50. A couple of weeks back, this stock gave a decisive breakout from its multiple resistance zone of 138 on a closing basis. The stock has been hovering in a small range of 142 to 138 since last few days. Considering the current market scenario, relatively this stock could be a safer bet. Thus, we are recommending it to buy for a target of 149. Our second recommendation would be to short Kotak Bank for a target of 660. Stop loss can be placed at 724. Yesterday this stock gave a breakdown from its daily 20 EMA level of 700 on a closing basis. Today it has given a pullback towards its resistance zone. But considering the ongoing momentum and the placement of RSI oscillators, we expect this stock to slide towards 660 over the next few sessions. And our final recommendation would be to short Bata India. The stock has clearly struggled to cross 510, 520 mark on a closing basis. Since last 4 days, it's been sliding from its resistance levels. Today, it has given a breakdown on hourly chart from its support level of 489. Thus, considering the ongoing momentum and daily chart structure, we expect the stock to slide further from current levels.
Okay, and that's about all the equity ideas that our experts are flagging off right now. But let's also get you the latest on what's happening in the commodities world. We've had oil prices that have slid to fresh 12-year lows, though we've got some bit of bounce back clearly coming in today. Manisha Gupta is right here to tell us on what's the near-term outlook as far as crude goes. Manisha, are you convinced with this bounce that we've got today?
Well, it really looks like a relief rally at this point in time. We did see $32 in the markets yesterday, and that is where the crude prices really seem to be taking some support from. The fundamentals, most of them are on the bearish side, but today is just a good day. You have seen equity markets, currencies as well rebound, and the kind of rebound that you have seen coming in for China, which is the world's second largest consumer for crude oil, that really seems to be supporting the prices. So a couple of percentage points higher on your screens, and 34 really seems to be back. But nobody is denying that the volatile moves just about continue for most part of this quarter, and we perhaps yet haven't done a bottom into these markets. IMF has cut global growth expectation for 2016. You have seen Goldman Sachs reiterate yet again that the prices may decline further from here. 30 or even below those kind of levels is what the markets really are talking about. But today seems to be like a strong day for the energy markets there. The gold and silver prices, which had been running up every single day of 2016, have seen some profit taking now coming in. But even with nearly 0.5% decline, $1,100 per ounce seems to be holding for the international markets. It is about the base metal space which really has been under the weather. The fundamentals, the data that has come in from China, US, UK in sense of manufacturing numbers, factory data, all of that has been on the weaker side. But having said that, like all other asset classes, this space also has seen some money shift in, and that's the reason you are looking at a bit of a green there as well. But the last day of the week, and how do you trade that one? For that, let's get in Bharat Kumar, and he joins us with his strategies on all of that. Bharat, hi, good to have you. What's your sense, first of all, coming in for the gold prices? Because we are holding 1100, 26,000 is back in Indian markets. What's your strategy today?
I think in case of precious metals, especially gold, the trend is still bullish. Nevertheless, on the intraday charts, we are seeing the prices little bit overstretched. So we may see correction during the day. Nevertheless, I think one can go for buying it somewhere around 25,720 ranges, with stops below 25,600 ranges, expecting around 26,166 initially on the higher side, and then afterwards maybe 26,200 over a period of time. Since the market is a little bit overstretched, I think one should wait for correction of around 300 rupees from the current ranges and then go for buying rather than entering at the market price. So in case of gold, I think the trend is still bullish. Even in case of COMEX gold, $11-10, $11-12 is a very important resistance, which happens to be the weekly target and initial monthly target. So to that extent, I think we may see a little bit of sideways pattern for a couple of days, though the major trend is still bullish.
Bharat, how would you look at crude? I mean, it's get immensely difficult to call a strategy or a level in crude oil prices, the kind of volatile moves that we are trading with. 6% down yesterday, 2% up today. What's your sense on the prices?
In case of energies, especially crude, 2200 ranges is a very important support in case of MCX, when we have seen historic supports being posted at 2200 ranges. So to that extent, I think we may see stable prices at the current ranges. So in case of crude, we are expecting a little bit of dead cat bonds, maybe which can take the market to an extent of around 2340 ranges. So even in case of crude, I think first one should exit the short positions and then afterwards re-enter long positions at somewhere around 2200 with stops below 2150, expecting around 2340 ranges on the higher side. So in case of crude, the prices are oversold, so one should be cautious on short selling and expecting dead cat bonds. One can go for buying at somewhere around 2200 ranges.
Fair point that, but today is a buy calls for those couple of commodities. Bharat, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your calls. It's a buy call then coming in from him from gold and crude prices. Remember, it's a positive market and we perhaps seem to be really giving away the kind of losses that we started this week with. With that, it's back to you guys.
Okay, thanks very much, Manisha, for giving us some perspective as to how one should really be approaching the very volatile commodity markets. That's the disclaimer that if you're taking any advice, you must consult your financial advisor. Quick thanks to our 6 equity trading guests for joining in and pitching in your top picks. We take a quick break right here on the show. Stay with us on the other side. It's BNSN, the Stock Game.